Catherine Rose Zvara is a senior at Lynchburg College who has come from a different background than most. Because of her upbringing, she has started a project called I Am Third to promote people like her.
My project, I Am Third, the third stands for Third Culture Kids, and Third Culture Kids are kids who have grown up in cultures other than their passport countries. So you have your first culture, which is like your passport culture. So for me, that's American, because I have an American passport, and my parents are both American. But then I grew up in Central Asia, so that's like my second culture. But because I've never really I haven't lived very long in America, but I'm not a local in Central Asia, you kind of combine those two cultures and you kind of make your own third culture. So that's kind of what it is.
Because of these people being brought up in a very fast-paced environment, they have a very different idea about what home is.
For me, it's not like a place. I think because I've lived in so many different places, like physical homes, and so it's hard for me to be like, oh, well, my home's in Kyrgyzstan, because I haven't lived there for like 6 years now, and that was my last physical like home that my family owned. So I can't really say that that's my home. So home for me has become something that's very much based on where I am and who I'm surrounded with and people that love me, whether that's family or friends, and where I feel myself and where I can like let go and just live life, I guess.
These kids raised in third world countries tend to have a different meaning of home because of the way they live by traveling to new places all of the time.
So when I was 2 years old, my family moved to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and then we lived there for 11 years, and then we moved to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and I lived there for 2.5 years. And then after my 10th grade year, I moved to the Black Forest region in Germany, and I went to school there for 2 years. And then I actually have also lived in Russia for 4 months. That was before I moved to Uzbekistan, and then lived in the United States.
While traveling around to different countries, these kids get some insight that some of us that grow up in the States don't. Because of this, third kids can grow up with some advantages and even some disadvantages.
I feel like I'm very good at interacting with different types of people from all over the world, and I can find ways to relate to them even if like our cultures are different. And I have I'm very passionate about learning about other people and relating to other people and traveling and trying new things, where I feel like a lot of people who don't travel aren't as open to things like that. Disadvantages would be, I mean, there's always been a part of me that wishes I had just had like a house that I grew up in and that stability, and that my friends weren't all over the world and make it them a lot easier to visit and to reconnect. But I don't think there's that many disadvantages, honestly.
Some of these third kids might want to follow the path of their parents, but some feel as if they don't even need to go that far from home.
Only if I'm called to. I think before I was very like, yes, but I feel like wherever you are, you can be doing missions. And you should be mission-minded, so wherever God calls. If that's in Africa, if that's in Louisiana, if that's anywhere, I'll go.
Many of these kids have some trouble trying to adjust to the United States after never being immersed in this culture.
Yeah, I think it was hard adjusting to life in America because coming into Lynchburg College as a freshman, having lived overseas, there's not a lot of diversity here, and I had grown up obviously with a lot of diversity, and a lot of people here have just grown up in like the same county or state their whole life, which isn't a bad thing, but it was hard to be able to tell my story and feel like people cared enough to hear it, or even if they did care enough, they still could never really fully relate to it. So that was a struggle and took a long time, especially coming from a boarding school from high school where I was in such a tight-knit community, to coming here and not knowing anybody was really, really hard.
Friends are always an important thing in a child's life. and staying in contact with them is now easier than ever.
It's been cool. Technology is really helpful. There's one friend I have, her name's Becca, and literally we've been friends for like 17 years because we lived in Uzbekistan together, and then we lived in Kyrgyzstan together, and we lived in Germany together, and we visited each other in the States. So it's cool to see how our friendship has lasted through multiple countries, and we're like still best friends.
Because of doing this project, Kat has learned some valuable lessons she never thought she would need to know.
Yeah, I think just the importance of listening to people, and it's been really cool. There's some people that I would film, and afterwards they're like, wow, that's exactly what I needed right now, because like I don't have those outlets to talk to people about these things about my life, and just giving people the opportunities to say what they need to say, whether that is like their childhood story or it could be anything. Just, I think what I've learned is just like giving people platforms and opportunities to kind of say what's in their heart.
But don't be afraid. If you would like to contribute, there is still a way for you to get your story out there.
I would love for I Am Third to continue. It's gonna be difficult because I don't have as many of the resources or the programs myself. So, and I'm already going into a job, but it's definitely something that, like, if I met people along the way, it's an easy way to just film people. And I've had people write me being like, can I film myself and send stuff in? So yeah, I would love for this to turn into something big. Well, I have a website, IamThird3.com, and then I also have an I Am Third Facebook page. So those are probably the two best ways to reach me. My name is Kat Zvara, and I'm the creator of I Am Third.